Media controlled by Hamas, citing medical officials, say at least 27 people have been killed and dozens more wounded in an Israeli strike in the central Gaza Strip. There has been no confirmation yet from Gaza's health ministry. The attack hit a United Nations school in the city of Nuseirat. The Israeli army says it conducted a strike on a Hamas compound inside the school as it expands operations in the central part of the Strip. For more of this, I'm now joined by DW's Rebecca Ritters in Jerusalem. Rebecca, what's the latest on this strike?
Well, the news, the information is slowly emerging, Gerhard. Reports overnight in the early hours of the morning started appearing about this strike, saying, quoting, as you say, Hamas media officials saying that 27 people had been killed in a strike at this UNRWA school. We've also heard from health officials at the Al-Aqsa hospital saying that 30 bodies, including 5 children, were brought to the hospital and many more are wounded, so that death toll may well rise. I've also seen a figure of 32, but it's, of course, impossible to verify any of these figures at the moment. Shortly after that news came out, Israel did then confirm a strike at the school. They said they'd been targeting, quote, Hamas terrorists who were operating from within that school compound. Those so-called terrorists took part in the October 7 attacks, is what the military was saying, and that they were planning to carry out further attacks on IDF soldiers in the immediate future. The IDF also said that a number of steps were taken to reduce the risk of harming uninvolved civilians. Now, this strike follows an announcement earlier yesterday from the Israeli military saying that they were beginning a wider operation in this central part of the Gaza Strip. We know that since completing their operations there earlier in the year, they have now restarted some targeted operations in the centre of the Strip and also in the north of the Gaza Strip. But they're certainly widening that operation in this central part where Nuseirat is located and where this strike took place overnight.
Now, what are the prospects of continuing ceasefire talks between Hamas and Israel?
Well, the talks, certainly all the hope that was surrounding the potential breakthrough that was announced last week by President Biden, or certainly as he was dubbing it, the Israel part of these peace talks or these ceasefire talks, looked to be stalled once again. We've heard from the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh yesterday saying that no talks would be even entered into. They would not consider a ceasefire deal that did not lead to a permanent ceasefire. We've heard time and time again from the Israeli government, from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu himself, that they would not go into any ceasefire plan that led to a permanent ceasefire without completing their military mission of completely eliminating Hamas. So we once again face this sort of stalemate that we keep seeing, that there is a gap that cannot be bridged between the two sides. And it really, really all surrounds over this concept of the permanent ceasefire. So certainly looking not very positive at the moment. Talks were continuing yesterday. CIA Chief Bill Burns was also in Qatar to continue these talks. There were mediators, the usual mediators there from Qatar, Egypt and the US to try to further these talks. But at the moment, they are at a standstill once again.
DW's Rebecca Ritters there reporting from Jerusalem. Thank you, Rebecca.